Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Track Talk. I'm your host Daniel Hussey, joined by Matchbook brand ambassador Olly Murphy. Olly, no better place to start than the last couple of weeks. You've been in red hot form.
Yeah, they're in really good nick. Thanks, Dan, which is good. We've also had plenty of rain in England, and yeah, they seem to be relishing conditions and seem to be in fine form. So long may it continue.
Yeah, and I've always wondered, do you put the improvement down to a combination of that, maybe post Cheltenham, you've maybe targeted a few races, or is it a case of look week by week, it's tough to kind of train that far out at the start of the season?
Yeah, listen, it's just the way it's worked out. Really, the weather's turned over here. We've got some slow ground, and I had a lot of horses that hadn't run prior to Cheltenham because the rain hadn't come. So yeah, they've all kind of been able to see a racetrack. The rain's come, and thank God they've been in good nick, and plenty have gone and won their races.
Have you ever had 6 winners in a row?
I couldn't tell you. I've had a couple of 4-timers before, but I don't. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll try and do it again. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Talk me through the six. So it started with She's a Fine Wine, Dr. Ken Auditoria on the first day, and then the second day, Go Dante the same, and Fiston the Beacon, if I'm pronouncing that correct.
Yeah. Plenty of nice horses. She's a Fine Wine was really impressive in the mare's bumper. She may well go to Aintree, Auditoria, real good fun syndicate horse that she came good in first time visors. Fist and a Beacon, big staying chaser in the making. Had a nice mark and took control of that. Dr. Ken was just a lot better than his rivals, and hopefully we'll find a nice race for him at the back end of the season somewhere. And I'm just trying to think what else I'm missing out.
Go Dante, obviously.
No, Dante was really good. Yeah, came back to 2 miles on a flat track, and yeah, he saw it out well, and yeah, he's always I thought plenty of, and nice to see him get his head in front.
Well, Charlie Post thought a lot of him as well. So
yeah, he had a little injury, so it's just taken him a while just to kind of get back to his best, and I think there's still more to come, and we'll look forward to trying to find something for him now in 2 or 3 weeks' time if it carries on raining.
Okay, now look, I promise I'll keep a lid on the hype. In the Iver Bleu, as they were turning in, I was like, I might have a chance here. But the way he quickened up to win that bumper, and it's hard not to. I can see the smile on your face, Ollie. So rein me in a little bit on the excitement here, please.
Yeah, of course, it's natural, isn't it, to be taken away with a performance like that? But I've just learned very quickly that you can't get too excited. Albeit he did it in very taking fashion. What pleased me probably more than the naked eye was he actually hadn't been trained for a bumper. I know he was short, but it was my last run over day. I'd had a very good day, and I'd say that was more what was forming the market than there being a lot of money on it from people that thought he was very good. Yes, we've always liked him at home, but he hadn't been trained for the day, and that's what kind of took my breath away a little bit in the manner in which he won, considering I didn't send him racing with a view to doing what he did. And we kind of tend to know where we are with our bumper horses. And yeah, he did really please me in the kind of fashion he went through the race and picked up, and how long it took Sean to pull him up, because I know I hadn't trained him to do that, if you know what I mean. So yeah, he's to be left alone now. Nice horse for next season. We'll probably want 2.5 miles in time. Jumps great, and yeah, he's one to look forward to, Dan. And he's a big raw horse, and yeah, he's one to wrap up in cotton wool, and he's one of a few nice bumper horses we've run this year that I hope could be nice and novice herders for next year.
Yeah, not often the camera spots the not being pulled up for so long, but for some reason the racing TV kind of kept the camera on him. And I always remember Ruby Walsh 5 or 6 years ago opening my eyes to always watch the horses after the line. So you must, I guess Sean Bowen was full of praise for that. Was there any other nuggets he gave you just in general, or
yeah, Sean obviously the same as kind of everyone watching the race was very pleased and taken away with his performance. I said to Sean before the race, I said, I'd imagine you'll finish 3rd or 4th, but if he wins, he'll do it on raw ability, not how hard he's been trained to win a bumper first time. And yeah, it was very pleasing, and Sean was delighted, and it's one that he'll look forward to riding next season.
And just very quickly, I know it's pie in the sky in terms of next year campaigning a horse. You've campaigned a couple of 2 mile novice hurdlers this year in Strong Leader, Chasing Fire, 2 completely different campaigns in some ways. Have you any sort of, what's the best way to campaign?
I suppose we'll start this lad off in a maiden hurdle down and take it one step at a time. And one thing we couldn't do this year is run strong leader or chasing fire in a lot better race than we ran them before we went to Cheltenham, and it probably was a disadvantage to them come the Tuesday at Cheltenham. So yeah, obviously these nice novices, nice to dip your toe in the water a little bit, but the way the weather was this year and the way places were flooded and then frozen and this and that, my options were very limited. So yeah, you'd love to run him in a nice race if he's going to be good enough.
Okay, and on the Cheltenham horses, how did they all come out of the race, particularly Chasing Fire?
All came out of the race fine. I was really disappointed with Chasing Fire. He didn't run his race at all. Jumped the second last, and I thought he'd definitely placed and finished very, very tamely. Strong Leader didn't come down the hill at all, and actually came back up at okay. Like, he wasn't beaten far at all in the end.
I saw that,
crazy. He got a £9 rise for finishing 9th.
What? Jesus.
So a £7 rise. Sorry. So yeah, listen, the handicapper obviously thought it was a good run. So the plan is probably to go to Liverpool with him back on a flat track, and I think you'll see a different horse on a flat track, and that race would have stood them both in good stead.
Okay, and will you freshen up Chasing Fire for next season? Give him a go before the end?
I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I don't know whether I'll go to Aintree, go to Ayr, or go somewhere small again. I'm not sure, because he's a lot better than that run. If he finished 5th or 6th, I'd have nearly been more disappointed, because I'd have sure Aidan would have got down and gone, he ran grand, but that's as good as he was. Yeah. But he's a lot better than that. Whether we go up to 2.5 miles at Aintree or go up to Ayr, I don't know what I'm going to do, to tell God's honest truth, but he's back cantering away. It took nothing out of him, and yeah, they're both absolutely fine.
And quick question on, just a general question. So Chasing Fire, obviously he travelled through the race okay, and like you said, 2 out. Are you more disappointed in a horse when that happened, or is it an easier fix than say a horse?
I find it a lot easier conversation to have with someone when a horse gallops out through the line. I find that when a horse isn't galloping out through the line and going the opposite way, it's a lot harder to find out why. He was blood tested and scoped and track washed that night, and he was actually crystal clear. So no excuses health wise. I just think he had an ordinary day. I don't know why that was. But he's, in my eyes, he's a lot better than that. Listen, we'll see whether he is or he isn't. But I don't think that was his running.
Okay, one question before we move on to looking ahead. You had a brilliant couple of weeks, a lot of different jockeys for various races, obviously conditional jockeys, etc. But talk to us a bit about balancing, like a yard like yourself. You're using 3, 4, 5 jockeys, plentiful, like the likes of Sean Bowen, obviously Aidan Coleman for the big ones, Lewis Stones and conditionals. So talk to me a little bit about keeping that relationship with those 3, 4, 5 top jockeys.
Yeah, listen, we're first of all, we're all a big team. Yes, Sean Byrne rides the majority of them, and it's working really well. And he rode his 31st win of the year for me yesterday. So that's working good. Aidan Coleman's still a part of the team. He's still riding plenty for me. Fergus Gregory's riding for the first time this year as a fully fledged professional, and showing he's more than capable, and he's having a good run of things. Lewis Stones as a £5 claim. I think he's riding really, really well. He's down to 3 shortly, and it gets harder and harder. So he'll have to keep his head down. And do you know what I mean? You've got to kind of match it with the big boys then. Dara Davis, £7 claim, is riding good and able to take £7 off the back. And listen, when I can use Adrian Heskin as well, I enjoy using him and his experience. And yeah, I've got a good roster of jockeys. Will Kennedy with me every day as well, and his wealth of experience. So yeah, I'm lucky in that aspect, Dan, and we're all a big team. And listen, we all want the same thing, and that's winners.
No, great stuff. And then looking ahead to Aintree, it's a little bit later this year, so there's about a 4-week gap. Does that suit your team in general, or is there?
Yeah, no, I think so. I don't think it's going to suit the Irish as much, because it gets that bit close to Punchestown. But yeah, listen, I'd like to take a good team up there. You can tango Miss Cheltenham to go up there. I don't know what he's going to run in yet. I think Washington will go up for a handicap. Maybe Thunder Rock, Strong Leader, Chasing Fire. She's a fine wine, maybe for the bumper. Bring Up a Storm, Thomas Darby, Itchy Feet. Do you know what? I'm going to have plenty of runners up there. Hopefully my horses continue to be in the form they're in at the moment in 3 weeks' time, and hopefully it'll be a profitable 3 days.
Yeah, I was surprised just looking at the entries. I guess they've been spread out over the next few days. You book a few today, Saturday. I'd say maybe more focus next week. We'll probably have more sort of live chances all year.
Yeah, I've actually a quiet 3 or 4 days now. I thought Dr. T. Zuckerberg had a chance today in Newbury. my 2 horses in Hereford both have something to prove. 2 runners tomorrow in Bangor, Le Bon Vivant and Barony Legends, both coming back off a disappointing run, so I'll struggle for a winner tomorrow. And then Auditorium might run Monday under a penalty at Wincanton, should obviously have a chance. Then we are back into next week and got some nice bumper horses to run and young horses and handicappers. So hopefully we'll continue where we left off this week.
Yeah, and quick one on Mexican Boy. You've thought a lot of this horse. Is it going to run in Huntington on Tuesday?
I'd say he'll probably get a Hereford back end or Weatherby back end of the week. Sorry, I'm going to try him over 3 miles. He's been very disappointing. The ability's there, but we're just struggling to get it out of him at present.
Okay, and the horse we're talking about off air, Fleurman, is entered in the early closer. Musselburgh, you think you're going to keep him for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think that's the day after or the day before where the finals day up in Newcastle. I think the plan is to go to Newcastle for that race on or the finals day, 150 grand staying race. So he's in really good form, freshened him up. I actually couldn't be happy with him, and I think he's a horse full of confidence, and really looking forward to going to Newcastle with him.
Yeah, and quick one here, Ollie. I couldn't help but spot a Punchestown entry in the bumper. Is there a chance that Jackpot Diane will run in Punchestown?
I'd say probably unlikely at the moment. They're going to press. Might just be a horse for the autumn rather than late spring. But we plan to bring 1 or 2 over to Punchestown this year actually. So yeah, it's exciting and nice to come over and have a bit of crack and hopefully have a couple of runners as well.
Oh, brilliant. And is any sort of horses you have lined up, or is it a case of just bringing 2 or 3?
I've a horse called Bread and Butter. He was actually 3rd to Camprond in a 100 grand handicap there last year. So he's going to come back over. He's 4 or 5 pound lower than he was last year. So yeah, he's been trained for one of those handicaps. And listen, as you know more than anyone, they're extremely competitive and hard to win. But we'll look forward to coming over and having a go with him anyway, and try and find a companion to go with him.
Yeah, Punchestown's always good fun. Ollie, last question to you, and just a general overview of how the last couple of weeks have gone. How do you keep the momentum all the way through the rest of the spring?
I think you should keep running them. They're obviously in good form, very healthy, fit, and in real good vein of form. You just got to run as much as you can in the right races. And listen, everyone goes through purple patches, and we're certainly going through one at the moment. Probably an understatement, but they're running very, very well. It's amazing. You find the lesser horses tend to run 7 to 10 pound better than they usually would as well. So we'll run as many as we can. Spring is around the corner, albeit I hope it rains for another fortnight and we can keep running plenty of these horses. And it'd be nice to get numbers up and prize money up and keep going how we've been going the last couple of weeks.
Ollie, well done to you and the team over the last couple of weeks. Hope you keep it going, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks a million, Dan. Cheers.